I thank the Chair, and welcome back, Secretary Moniz.
Thank you.
My questions today will focus on the nuclear power workforce, grid challenges during disasters, and, for a change, LNG exports. First, the energy nuclear power workforce. The South Texas project in Bay City, Texas, is key to the Gulf Coast grid. It provides reliable, affordable power to the entire Houston area. Been doing that since 1988. However, STP is dealing with an aging workforce. Workers are retiring, and there aren't enough qualified replacements. Now, Warren County Junior College is stepping up to the challenge. Led by the great president, Betty McCrohan, Warren has opened a fourth campus in Bay City. And with the help of the Matagorda County Judge, Nate McDonald, they're offering 2-year degrees, associate degrees, in 3 nuclear power specialties. I'd love to have you come down and see that facility sometime if you're going by the South Texas plant. But nationally, nuclear power workers in STEM aren't as exciting as 4-year liberal arts degrees. And that concerns me. I'm proud. I graduated from Rice University and from UT Law School. But lawyers like me, who've never practiced law, and liberal arts majors are great with pens and paper, but terrible with fixing combined cycle gas turbines. And so my question is, what do you see when you look at our energy workforce? Is there anything DOE can do in this budget relating to finding the next generation of scientists, engineers, or high-tech construction workers?
Well, I think we do have somewhat limited authorities in terms of direct educational programs, but I think this issue of workforce in a number of areas of relevance to the department's missions is a major challenge. By the way, we have the same issue in some of our laboratories in terms of the nuclear workforce. So we would like to work to find ways to focus on core disciplines, core areas of relevance to the energy space, where we might look at increasing things like internship programs, traineeship programs, that kind of activity. Because I agree. In fact, Mr. Rush mentioned earlier in terms of the minorities in energy. We need more people coming into the workforce, and that's only going to be helped if we work across the entire spectrum, gender, race,
Yep.
Et cetera. So I'd love to work. We'd be happy to work with you. And
yourself or somebody
I will send Pete Lyons up to see you.
There you go. That's it. Send him down there, Bay City, Texas.
Great.
My second question is about grid recovery and disaster. The 2014 hurricane season starts June 1st. My hometown of Houston, the whole area, is in Hurricane Alley. As we've seen, the grid can be very vulnerable in severe weather. Keeping the lights and air conditioning on should be a top priority for all of us. When Hurricane Ike hit in 2008, 2 million people lost their power. DOE's budget has some priorities I think are interesting. You want to spend 5 times the amount on wind energy, $115 million, than on energy infrastructure security and restoration, $22.6 million. Texans love wind. We're the #1 producer of wind in America. But we also remember America's most disastrous hurricane, the Galveston hurricane of 1900, when over 6,000 people minimum were killed. Should I be concerned about DOE's priorities here?
Well, I think, frankly, we're trying to ramp up our emergency response capability and also our, what you might call, prevention possibility through looking at infrastructure to make our infrastructure more resilient, so that if something does happen, it doesn't go down, or if it goes down, it comes back faster. So that's a big focus for us. We have some specific proposals in the FY15 budget to amplify these capacities. One is to have a dedicated Energy Infrastructure Response Center. It's I forget, it's $6 or $8 million proposal to outfit a place where we can look at the country's infrastructure and help us in directing federal assets to assist with recovery. We also propose to place one person in each of the FEMA districts to understand the region-specific issues with regard to risks, and we feel that that having a person embedded in that way, you really understand the local situation, and you can understand who to call quickly when there are problems. You can do training, all kinds of things. So those are two specific initiatives on emergency response. But in addition, in the quadrennial energy review, there's basically going to be two major focuses. One is electricity system, and the other one is the fuels infrastructure. And on the latter, for sure, we are going to do region by region analyses of resilient fuels infrastructure, because we've seen different problems in all different parts of the country. Just recently, the propane, for example, especially in the upper Midwest, although it went to other parts of the country as well. So we really are building in this area. We think it's a high priority.
Come see Wharton County Junior College, my friend. I yield back.